this project, I'm using phthalo blue as my main color, but you can use any color you want. You just want your paint to be a transparent paint. And for the white, I'm using transparent mixing white. And you'll need to use transparent mixing white. This does not work with like a titanium white, because titanium white's too opaque to make the glaze that I use to do this project. So I'm just working out my design. I do have the traceable file for this over on my Facebook group, Rockin' It with April May. All you have to do is join and you'll have access to all of my traceable files. I have them all loaded there. If you need one and you don't see it there, just message me and I'll get it loaded for you. Excuse me, I'm still kind of sick. So what I'm doing is I'm taking and mixing the phthalo blue and my transparent mixing white and water, and I'm thinning it down to like an ink-like consistency. Now this takes a little practice and a little trial and error to get the right mixture. It's just something you'll have to do and practice with. But I'm going right up against the line of the white outline of the heart, and I'm painting that in with that mixture of transparent mixing white and the phthalo blue. And then as I progress out towards the black, I'm using more of the phthalo blue. And since it's so transparent, as I go to just phthalo blue, I'm darkening the color towards just plain phthalo blue as I progress out towards the black. Since the phthalo blue is so transparent, it fades. And it'll fade into the black. And that's what creates that fade effect. The more transparent mixing white needs to be put closer to the heart. And then you'll progressively add more of the phthalo blue to where you don't have any transparent mixing white mixed into your mixture. It's just all phthalo blue as you move out towards the black. I'm doing the same thing for going around the word love. I made my letters really thick, and I'm actually going around the outline of the letters, and then I'm going to go in and paint the inside where it's white. I'm going to paint that black. But I'm doing pretty much the same thing. I'm using a lighter mixture of the two colors, so it's got more of the white in there, so it stands out more. You can see how light it is here. And on these, you don't have to feather it out as far like I did on around the heart. I feathered that out a lot further. And this, I'm making a little bit more of an outline. Excuse me. And then once I get this light blue put into place, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that just straight phthalo blue, thin down with water to an ink-like consistency, and I'm going to go over the whole design. And that's going to darken up the color so that it's not such a light blue. And that's what's going to give it that kind of neon blue look. I'm also going in and cleaning up the inside of the loops of the L and the O and the E. I didn't want to lose the black sections of that, so I had to make those, the blue and that, just a little bit thinner. And so you see me dabbing the paint with my paper towel. It's because I've got too much water on there. So that's where you have to kind of find that fine line when you're making that ink-like consistency. If you've got too much water, it doesn't work very well. And even I have to, you've got to find that fine line. So it takes a little bit of kind of manipulating the paint to figure out where that is for you. So you can see here I've gone over it with the phthalo blue and it's darkened everything up. And I'm actually doing it again until I get it to the color that I want. Because I want it to be a deep blue, but I want it to have that glowing effect. And so I kind of keep going back and forth. I'll lighten it up and then I'll go back over it with the phthalo blue and then lighten it up and go back over it until I get it to the right color. Now I'm going in and I'm cleaning up the inside of the word love. And I'm using Golden's black for this, which is it's a Golden's fluid black. And now I'm kind of going over the black sections of my heart, not making sure not to go over the blue parts that are outlining the love. It's just the chalk pencil that I use kind of smears around on my black rock, and so I'm just trying to clean that up a little bit. And now I'm going over again, just building that color. See, I'm going lighter in the around the word love again. I want right up against the black of the lettering, I want that to be the lightest section. So I've got to keep going back up and lightening it and then glazing the blue on top of it. But I've got to get that line right around the love. I've got to get that light enough to where when I go over it with the transparent blue, when I glaze over that color, it still stays lighter than the feathered off portions, if that makes any sense. You want it to feather off lighter to dark, obviously. And so that's why you'll see me kind of keep going back over and outlining until I can get that feathered effect. But it's easier to go lighter than it is to go darker. So I always just keep going lighter at the edge of the love and then glazing on top of that. Now I'm doing it on the outside of the heart. Same thing. But see how it turns it to kind of a baby blue. And I don't want it to be a baby blue. I want it to be that neon blue color. So there I'm glazing back over. And see how even though I'm using a dark paint, because I've watered it down so much and glazing it over, you can still see it's lighter over there close to the edge of the black, to the edge of the heart. And that's the look I'm going for. And I'm glazing this color all over the rock, even over the black parts of it. Because it's translucent, it doesn't cover up the black. Now I'm doing it one more time, going a little bit thinner with my line the last time I did it, my line was a little wider. Now I'm going in with a little bit thinner line, and that's going to lighten that section up even just that much more, and that's what's helping build that gradient. I'm just building it backwards, going from dark to lightest instead of lightest to darkest. And going around the lettering one more time. This rock took me about 2 hours to complete. This does take a long time, but I think it's so worth it at the end when it kind of just glows. It looks like the heart and the lettering is backlit with blue lights. Especially when you resin it, it really kind of sets that all off. It really makes it look like it's glowing. And like I said, you could do this in any color. I didn't want to go with a traditional red, even though a lot of the reds, especially with Liquitex Basics, which is what I'm using, a lot of their reds are translucent colors that would have worked really well. I didn't want to go with the traditional red and pink. I wanted to do something different. That's why I chose the blue. But you could do any color as long as it's, like I said, as long as it's transparent and you mix it with the transparent mixing white. Don't try to use titanium white, it won't work. You'll get this same effect. And like it just takes a little getting used to kind of creating that glaze, which is just a mixture of paint and water, and getting it thinned down to the right consistency. And I don't have like a recipe I can give you. You just kind of have to figure out what's the best mix for you. So I'm just finishing up my final touches, and then I'm going to show you here real quick what the finished rock looks like. There it is. I hope you'll give this tutorial a try. Make sure to join my private Facebook group, Rocking It with April May. And I will see y'all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.